Welcome everyone, it's Friday. That means chat Gauntlet. That means I am going to draft against 7 viewers in an offline mtgadraft.herokuapp.com draft. You can check that link either in the chat right now. I'm sure someone will link it up, or you can look in my notes on YouTube to find the website we're using to draft. And it's a third-party site that has all the sets and has a lot of cool features and does a very realistic human draft experience of whatever Magic set you're looking to draft. So what we get to do here is draft offline on a third-party site. We get to then export our decks into Magic the Gathering Arena, and then we use the buddy system within Magic the Gathering Arena to challenge each other in a best-of-1 series of 7 games. Normally, when you do an 8-player draft, you do a traditional battle to see who goes 3-0. In this case, what I want to do is be able to play against everybody who took the time today to participate in this. Foil King, Tron, Dr. Schnuffy, Norbert, Bonsai Skullet, MB Keller, and It's Magic John are my opponents, and I thank them for taking this time today and helping me with this content, and I want them to all get to play on stream for their troubles, and it also makes a nice little best of 7. So who's going to get to 4 wins first? Will it be me or will it be chat? And as most of the regulars know, 5 and 6 wins from chat mean we get to go and spend a little gem money at the store on Bling for our main account. And boy, if I happen to go 0 and 7, if chat can 7-0 me, I've given up control over all the hair on my head from the neck up except for my eyebrows. And I'm going to trust in chat that if they pull this off, what's the worst that could happen? I shave it off and regrow. But I trust chat. I think if you ever 7-0 me, it'll be funny and fun. So I'm trying to I'm trying to embrace that. And also, yes, like my current, like, I could make an appointment to go get a haircut at this point. Things have opened up in Seattle enough that I could do that. And I even feel like I could do it safely. Here's the great news, everybody. We can beat the pandemic. It's not actually that difficult. We need to consistently wear masks. We need to consistently stay 6 feet apart when we can. We need to consistently wash our hands, and we need to avoid large groups of people if we can, right? And so I know that I could put on a mask, my stylist could put on a mask, and I could make an appointment and go get my haircut. But it is, for me, it's just not essential. I'll just put product in it and keep throwing it, slicking it back and until we got a nice mullet going. But it's somewhat like my my way of saying, look, I'm not gonna, like, I can just let my hair grow until we have much better handle on the pandemic, and then and maybe by then you'll 07. Basically, I'm building you a palette, chat. This is a growing palette for you to work with when you finally get the 7-0 on me, right? Anyway, I hope that doesn't happen, mainly because I like winning at Magic, and I like control over my hair too. Those things all combine to continue to make me want to prevent you from doing this, but we shall see. I certainly don't want to prevent you from checking out my sponsor, Card Kingdom, though. They sell physical Magic cards at cardkingdom.com, and you can get there through my affiliate link in the panels down below or in the show notes on YouTube. And they've been sponsoring me for a long time, and I just continue to ask that you keep them on your radar when you're shopping for physical Magic stuff, and that when you do decide to make a purchase, if you decide to purchase with Card Kingdom, to remember my affiliate link, because if you go there on the affiliate link and then make a purchase, you help keep me on the air, and I'd love to stay on the air with y'all. So that's one way you can help out. You can give me a follow if you haven't done that yet, for example. You don't have to just like buy at Card Kingdom to help me out too. If you want to help out this stream, remember that word of mouth is huge. If you know Magic players who might enjoy the stream, let them know about it. And you can join the Discord and be part of that community, help that community grow. So even just being a positive, active part of my community that way is a way that you can help all of this keep going, and that would be sweet. So thanks for everybody's support, including Card Kingdoms and my viewers and all the subs and all that stuff. But now we're going to hop over to left monitor where we have our setup. So here we go. This is the website, and it's got a, we can see the players all queued up here, and the crown shows that Skeptical Hat is the session owner, and we'll probably make it go soon here. Here he goes. So we say we're ready, and we're going to be drafting shortly. Good luck, competitors. See you on the other side. Hey, we got a red Planeswalker. I've not had Chandra before. Hopefully she's sweet. 5 mana, 5 loyalty Planeswalker. Discard your hand, then exile the top 3 cards of your library. Until the end of turn, you may play cards exiled this way. That's a nice empty hand mode. The other +1, that's +1. Another +1, Chandra, Heart of the Fire, deals 2 damage to any target. 5 mana that throws shocks around and then lets you redraw. That doesn't actually seem amazing, but Media says Busto. That doesn't seem Busto to me. It seems pickable. I'm going to take it and we're going to try her, but maybe it's just the high loyalty. Cardlinger called. Yeah, I know Shock gets a lot of creatures, but often shocking 48% of all creatures on turn 5, though, is not stupid amazing, right? I can't do, here, where is it? I'm going to reject. I don't do the hair meme on Fridays until I have won. That feels like jinxing myself. Yeah, anyway, we'll take Chandra, and I believe y'all. I've never played with or against her before, so for me, this is almost like a day one. Ooh, Chandra, let's see what happens, right? So I've not I've not experienced this. Well, maybe I have. Maybe one time somebody Chandra's I can't remember, but anyway, just putting on my card evaluation glasses and being a little worried that shocking something on turn 5 isn't fast enough against some decks, but not saying she's not good. And then someone has passed us Gadrak. Who passed us Gadrak? That is Foil King. What did Foil King take out of this, you think? Common is missing. Could just be Red Burn Spell, I suppose. But I'm going to take, yeah, it's probably Dragonfire, but Gadrak into Chandra seems great. I mean, Gadrak as a 5/4 flyer is going to defend Chandra really well, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, we're going to take Gadrak and be happy. We may be having a red drafter to our right, though. So, you know, first picking a red mythic and then a red rare makes it seem like you're in the right place, but we got to watch for being cut on red. If I make a Gadrak meme, we will never see Gadrak again. I'll just sing Beastie Boys whenever we see it. Gadrak, Meshach, Abednego. Another rare we could grab, although in this case, we've got a Leafkin Avenger and a Drowsing Pteranodon. I question whether we'll get an Avenger on the wheel, but I think if we're red-green, I would rather start with a Pteranodon than Avenger anyway. Like, these are effectively the same card, these are effectively the same colors, and maybe Pteranodon, or maybe the Avenger wheels if like nobody is red-green. I'm certainly not counting on that. Karvek is also interesting. We could, you know, start off with the triple rare opener and get this early enough to build around a bit. But I don't want to get into black with this. That just doesn't seem right. Yeah, I think Pteranodon is the flexible, correct pick here. If black were a better color, I think you could make an argument for Karvek here, but black's not good enough in the format. I've had a lot of success with red-green lately, so if we end up sticking here, I have hope. But trying not to marry any of this. Oh, it's going to be hard not to play Gadrak and Chandra, but again, if Foil King took a Dragonfire and passed us the Gadrak and then cuts all the red, we could just see the red dry up from here. So let's see though. We got Warmonger as a pivot towards the red-black, possibly. This is a whatever creature, but its baseline is fine. Transmogrify, not particularly playable. Could just be a Hobble Fiend. Try to, like, we might still be getting cut on red. Who knows? Maybe a Shock was taken out of this pack, right? But there's a Sure Strike here. There's a Hobble Fiend here. That's a good sign that at least it's not completely dry of red. And we really would like to play these two. So it's worth... The Hobble Fiend is actually at its best when it's got a lot of stuff to sacrifice and everything, but it's worth taking here to... is Hobble Fiend better than Warmonger? I mean, if Direfleet Warmonger were 2 in a red, then no, that we would absolutely take the Direfleet Warmonger here if this were a mono red card. But this being a mono red card is big game for this spot, so we're going to take it. Great sign. Great sign, right? Woo! Less great sign is there's no green here. But we only have 1 green card, so if we're not red-green, so be it. But I love the Shock here. Fantastic. Yeah, because I feel like if we can, you know, shock their first play, drop a Pteranodon, drop a Gadrak, then Chandra looks amazing, right? It's possible that Foil King did not take a Dragonfire, and I don't know if I'm not sure if foils are on. Maybe I don't think Hat is Hat playing. If Hat's not playing, maybe Hat knows. Are foils on? Yeah, I think we take the weird here. It's not great, but playable. I mean, it's great in the right deck. I just don't know if this is the deck. We could pivot to blue, though, and then it could become great, and crash throughs help it and everything. Foils aren't on, so it was definitely a common. Yeah, we'll take the weird. It's not good yet in this deck, but it could become good. And the Larcenist and the Singer suggest that maybe we could be the red-blue spells deck. So I'm going to take the Singer here and look that direction. Trying to draft the hard way. Red is obvious. This is exactly the spot that Luis and Marshall were talking about recently, where kind of the dream is to be fully and solidly and clearly in one color at the end of the pack, and have some toe holds with solid cards in a couple of other colors, and then use the second pack to figure out where you're really going. Truffle Shuffle. It's funny, I do my click drag thing that I do on Arena, even though I'm not doing it here. Even though this isn't Arena. Yeah, we're not taking a black card, although look, between the Thallid and the Blackguard, seems like black is classically pretty darn open. Yeah, late Thallid, but is it late? It's only saying that, yes, the table is aware that black is not exactly the place you want to be, right? Like, downgraded for color quality, Deathbloom Thallid, pick 8 is a little maybe late, but not... yeah, that's true. We could take the Thallid and dip our toe in a third color, because we could... there's that Warmonger that might wheel. Truffle Snout is not a huge loss, but I don't think I'll... If the red, black, gold card wheels, I'll take it, and be a little sad we don't have the Thallid. But I'd rather be in Pteranodon, Truffle Snout territory with this, so I'm going to take the Snout and see. Doesn't seem like anybody wants to be black anyway, so if we want to end up there, I think we'll be able to. Turn to Slag for the removal, or just the Dreadmaw to continue locking the green. You like the Slag? These are... I like first Dreadmaw over first Slag, but I'd play a Slag. Oh, that's true. But wait. What do you mean works with Chandra? Does work with Chandra, like by protecting her? I don't know what I'm trying to understand the comment about Slag doing work. I like the pick of Dreadmaw here, but I'm curious about the Slag thing. Crash through for the cycling power, Prismite for a random 2, Dilo for a random but not lovely 4, although we don't have anything at 4 yet, so we could take that. Yeah, I think the fact that we have a weird suggests we should take the crash through. Also, in red-green, giving your green fatties that don't have trample naturally like Dreadmaw does, that doesn't suck either. Turret Ogre is fine. Reasonable, playable 4. Looks like, again, the red is obvious. Looks like we're heading green, but this blue, if the blue explodes on us in pack 2, like if we open Epiphany... It is Epiphany, right? The blue 6-drop. If we open that, we're going to take it, you know. Excellent drafters know this card is not worth it. I'm going to cut the Defiant Strike. We don't have any artifacts or enchantments we really care about yet that Mutt might get. So let's just cut a playable Defiant Strike. We'll cut a playable Arcanist, and again, if the blue flows, maybe we play it. I mean, this is a pretty good card for blue-green or blue-red spells. No, the Avenger not being there. First, there comes a point where you would take the Avenger just because it's the only good card in the pack, not that you were necessarily even playing it. So this is a garbage pack for red. We've only got the weird. We do have a Feline Sovereign. Not amazing, but probably the pick here. This is a very weak pack. If there was something super strong in blue, I might hedge towards the Double Arcanist and the Singer. But I don't think Lofty Denial or Frost Breath are reasons to deviate from the red-green we're headed towards at this point. Unfortunately, I don't... We could take the weird as like a sure playable. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We could just take, like, this might even wheel. I'm going to take the weird. Change my mind. Like, this can do some things, but I don't want to get all agog over the rarity symbol. Double weird makes things like crash through better, so we can pick up crash throughs a little higher. So yeah, and it's our for sure main color. So let's just take the weird. Temple of Milady would be fine, but here is an Avenger we're not going to let pass now that we know where we are a bit. And I think this is the time. I'm already ready to say, like, okay. And there's not even good blue here, right? I mean, there's a Feat. That's the other. Devotee is really nice. Acolyte, really nice. Good cards in the pack, but Avengers clearly for us. Yeah, perhaps Foil King cut the white and is now going to get the hiccup. Hope they don't get the hiccups. The hookup, hiccup. The hiccup, hookup. Yeah, I feel like we might be competing for green, but if we're heavy red and light green, you know, if our split is just heavy on the red side, that's fine too. Don't like... Oh man, Fetters. Yeah, the white is flowing. Ghostlight suggests some blue, but I don't think we have enough blue. We have enough. Our red-green is coming along too nicely, I think, at this point. Kind of just want the crash through. Is that crazy? There's the Sage, and... I guess we'd play a Sage. Maybe, yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. We could take Fetters. This is a card worthy of a splash, and this is the type of deck and colors that could do it. Yeah, I think I'm with David in the splash vote. Like, we're talking about Sage or Crash Through. That's our opportunity cost for a splashable Fetters. I think we need to take Fetters here. Also, we're playing in pod. We're playing against every single opponent. This is, at the very least, going to deny one of our opponents of Faith's Fetters. Not that that's a reason. It's just, it's a thing on the scale. Okay, I'm mentioning it as a thing on the scale, but be careful of overvaluing the hate factor. But it's the splash factor that makes this worth taking, and it's the lack of anything super significant to take over it. Track down, Gnarled Sage, Crash Through, or the Ghostlight spec. Now we'll take the Fetters. Would I run a green Sanctum? I don't know if I'd do that for that card. Burlfist Oak, another Feline Sovereign. I guess we could take Kitty number 1. Because if we wheel Kitty number 2, they feed each other, right? And it's a 3-drop instead of a 4. I think I'll take first Kitty. Burlfist is okay here, but we'll take Kitty. Agreed on the Crash Throughs cheese. I'll keep that in mind. Maybe the Burlfist was the right pick there with if we get multiple Crash Throughs, but it was the fact that we might wheel the second one. And that there are actively kitties like this. I mean, this is not the one I was talking about. I'm thinking of the 3-drop, but like there are cats at common that we legit want to get. And a Ranger's Guile here. I'm going to take the cat synergy over the first Guile. Yeah, no red at all, but that can just be packs, you know. We certainly didn't pass much good red. It might just be the packs. We don't really know. Although Inaki Ogre, not great. Here I'll take Burlfist Oak number 1, I think. Yeah, totally need 2s. We're looking. I don't think we've passed any 2s that we really regret. I mean, I maybe had a Prismite I could have taken. Yeah, somebody can decide. Something that can happen is like if who are we passing to? Like we're passing to whoever we were passing to might have been really wide open and then got a red hookup in pack 2 that they decided to chase. So, gonna take the Pride Malkin over Uprising and go down Kitty Lane, but we do need some 2s still. Still looking for 2s. Uprising might have its thing by the end. Leafkin, Turret Ogre, Gadrak, Do It, Dreadmaw. Right now we have 4 for the Uprising, which is not great. Pick 9 Kitty would be cool, but really I want some 2s. We just got to prioritize 2s or we're going to get mauled in this format. Like, doesn't matter how good the deck looks if you're not interacting early. The Fetters was an opportunity cost Fetters and opportunity cost Fetters. Here we take a Snare Spinner over the Oak. Yeah, I want the Crash. I want the Oak, but Snare Spinner. We're just gonna. We need 2s. I don't care what they. I don't care what they are. We're taking 2s. 2-drop creatures, I should say. I do care. Reasonable 2-drop creatures. Yeah, if they just feed us nonstop Tranodons coming up, that would be great. All right, pick 9 comes around with no Kitty, so we don't get our Kitty Lord back, but we can get another Mauler for the first one. I don't think I'm running any of these main, so yeah, we're thick at 4. Maybe I do, like, if we're that desperate, I could take and potentially play the Sniper. I don't like this card. Yeah, maybe Vine is the better, like, yeah, maybe Vine is correct. I think you're, like, Mauler has Feline Sovereign interactions, but we need, I say, 2-drops, but Portcullis Vine is effectively that job, right? So we're going to take Portcullis Vine and play it if we need to. If we come up with better 2-drops, great. Here's what people think of black in the format, clearly. I'm going to take this over the Gorehorn, though. We'll deny somebody a good removal spell. Good, not great. Maybe people even think it's actively not good, but I would still call it good. I think this is good, not great. Trackdown will take over the Sure Strike because this is at least a play I will make on 2. It's not our dream turn 2 play, but if we're feeling it and it's our only option, scrying to find an answer to whatever's pressuring us early is not the worst. We could take the Meteorite on the possible splash/removal. I don't have the high end to really justify a Meteorite right now, but maybe we would run it. 2 5-mana shocks, everybody. 2 of them. You can't draw Chandra off Trackdown, but at least you don't have to bin her, right, David? You can put your land on top and Chandra underneath. So Media, Media is definitely like, don't even play this. You don't want one of these Media. I called it good because I'm happy to run 1 generally, because sometimes, especially best at 1, where you need to have your bases covered a bit, you know? You can't just... It's nice, or I should say it's nice. It's nice to know that you can handle anything that doesn't have hexproof. Definitely Cheese. Cheese asking about playing Eldraine next week. Certainly you all will have a lot to say about that, but that's the plan. Another Karavec, interesting. Sorry, I missed the fact we were picking here. Well, we have not been treated well by packs 2 and 3 pick 1. Pretty garbage for where we're at. It's looked incredible for blue-black. If you're a blue-black drafter, you're going to love this pack and just want to take it and go away. What are we doing, though? Truffle Snout? Thrill? Thrill is another. I don't want to do this on 2, but I would if we were desperate. I think it's these 2, right? Oh, what a like pack 3, pick 1, Thrill of Possibility. How you feeling about that? All right, we'll take it, but not happily. Thrilled. Well played. Pyreling. Oh gosh, I see all these 2s and got excited, but we're going to take a Harbinger. It's not a 2, but we're not passing this rare. I'd love to get a Pyreling back even. This isn't sexy either, but I would happily take this on the wheel and run it. And Kerr, I would also happily take on the wheel and run, but Harbinger is deal with this. Like, if you can drop this on 3 on the play, wow, that's tough for... they better have that 3 damage spell. Yeah, Furious Rise is much better than Garrick's Uprising, because things like Sabertooth Mauler can get to the point where they trigger a Furious Rise, whereas Sabertooth Mauler never really triggers the Uprising without some serious help, like some Anthem effect or something. Fire Emancipation. So we can deal triple damage, or we can get a Kerr to fill our 2s. Pride Malkin, oh my goodness. This is a really good card. I've come around on it. It's not just a joke. It's actively good. So is the Wildwood Scourge, although less so in this deck. Not this deck, but less so. I kind of want to take the Emancipation. I know Dirt Sleep. They'll wheel though, right? I'm going to take Emancipation. See, we got an immolator anyway. We're fine. We're going to get all the 2s we need right now. We're going to wheel this cur. Exactly. You all should be happy. I mean, that's the argument being, of course, that this card is just me being fun and not actually trying to win this draft, where the reason I took this is I actually think this helps me win the draft. But yeah, the fantastic pickup, and we're starting to fill this out. Thrill and Trackdown continue to be cards I'm not excited about in this spot, but we now have 4 solid creature playables, and hopefully we find some more. 5 if you count the Vine. Yeah, no Visionaries yet, but I am not unhappy with this deck. Pyreling is a 2, but Spore Web is a strong 3. We're going to take another strong 3. The Pyreling is not that good, and I think most people are not going to want it. So I think we might even be able to wheel this Pyreling. Yeah, technically this isn't even a 6 mana do nothing because it immediately makes all your creatures triple damage, right? It's not like it takes a turn for that to happen. There's a Replicator, but that's a 5. I can't see us taking a Replicator over a Spinner here, so I'm just going to snap the Spinner. And I like Spinner over Prismite. We are getting farther and farther away from the ability to splash. The Meteorite could help, but it's not enough, and I'm hoping not to play it. Although Meteorite for 6 damage would be funny. Yeah, I don't think I want to play Prismite as my way of... okay, here's a Traitorous Greed. We don't have any sacrifice. I still kind of feel... somebody in YouTube was asking about... Hi, Ryan. There's a YouTube friend who makes a lot of comments on my videos and values Traitorous Greed in the abstract more than I do. It is kind of cool with the color add and stuff, but if I don't have the sacrifice stuff, or... like, when would I play Traitorous Greed without the ability to sacrifice? I think if it's my top end in a... hyper aggro, low interaction, like Boros or base red deck. Yeah, we could take, but what we could do is take Fungal Rebirth or Scanner. Scanner gives us some, we have some air support though. I don't think we need Scanner. Although drawing a card isn't the worst. We'll take Fungal Rebirth. Coatl is all right. Prismite though, could bring the Fetters back into consideration, but not really. I don't even want to play possible Fetters on 5 or whatever. But this is going to be better for us than the Sniper, I think. So we'll... there's no sideboarding here. We're best of 1, so I'm going to take Prismite. And also, as we kind of learned this week, I had a Sniper in sideboard of best of 3 and faced 2 blue-white Flyers decks and still didn't run it. We had other reach, but the... activation being 3 as opposed to like 2 is a big deal breaker for this thing. You need 6 mana before you can take out a swooper, and that's, you know, that's kind of the best you could hope for, is to get some of these 4 or 5 drop 2 toughness Flyers. I still want 2s. Given the chance, I'm going to take 2s here. Devils is interesting with the triple damage. A 9/3 that dies to deal 9 is pretty interesting. All right, here's our wheel that we were wondering what would come back from. And we did get the Rise. We'll take and consider that. A lot of playables here. Probably not playing the Thrill or the... oh man, I'm going to take... we have so many playables. I'm going to take the Highlands over the Ogre or the Shaman. You all like that? I mean, Shaman helps with the 4 power thing. Yeah, no Pyre stuff is wheeling. Kurz didn't wheel. Yeah, the red just was clearly being snapped up. But we ended up with enough at 2 that I'm pretty happy. If we landed 1, 2 before this finished up, that would be nice. But the Highlands is nice. Come on, one more 2-drop. No, doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Don't think we're playing Bone Pit Brute. Only got 1 Dreadmaw, so I'm happy we picked. Like, there was a Dreadmaw versus Guile pick or something like that. I can't. Yeah, and I picked Dreadmaw. I'm really glad we got at least one of them. Another Pitch Burn. I think that's true a lot of the time. Media points out that if you're actively triggering a Furious Rise, you're probably in good shape anyway because you've got a 4-power creature on board, and that's true. But I think it's a little bit of a stretch to suggest like hey, if this is triggering, you must be fine, right? It must be win more if this is triggering. I think you're right to identify that it a lot of times can be win more. But I don't think it's like absolute or anything that just because you have a 4-power creature that you're doing fine. There are plenty of spots where my 1 4-power creature drawing me extra cards while I'm desperately trying to stabilize was the difference maker. Although Media might argue back. Maybe if that Furious Rise were just a 3-drop 4/2, you wouldn't have been behind, right? That's the game. That's the tough part. It's figuring all that crap out. Let's go. I mean, I might cut it just because, like, what are we playing? Like, we got to make so many cuts here. I'm going to move this out for now just so I can see what our total card count is. Emancipation plus Devils is a combo, but probably can't get away with it here. I think I want the Vine. Maybe we're good enough on I think Track Down and Thrill. Six, 2. Oh, Return to Nature can go. So that's only 5 2s. I kind of want the Vine as like our 6th 2. Yeah, Cardlinger, Harbinger, and Track Down. Well, what? Harbinger are we talking about? I mean, I thought we were talking about 2s, but Track Down may find stuff better, but Portcullis Vine actually defends. Let's see. Spellgorger triggers have been called. Let's count them. We've got those. Furious would trigger it if we play it. Chandra, Emancipation. But yeah, that's not super, super great. We could cut like 1 weird. They kind of are kill on sight though, and they only need 1 before they're fine and 2 before you're really happy. But it's reasonable that these are, we're a little thick at 3 and these aren't the best they've been. Yeah, we could, that's, I would rather cut a different 3 for the Track Down or a different 4 even, like even cut the Burl Fist or something, or cut this Pitch Burn. And then add that back. Does that make? But the thing is, we still have other cuts to make. It's tough to add anything back. If we cut Burl Fist and 1 weird, we end up with a 23. We could do 24 here with Crash Through and Leafkin Avenger, although. Again, with Emancipation, etc., and a Dreadmaw and a Mana Sink and the Leafkin Avenger, I'm okay with the 17 here. Cheese says cut them both or support them more. That's interesting. We could do, like, put the oak back in and cut the other weird. Just give up on the weirds. Then this becomes the 6, the 5. This is here. This is here. This. I think that's a stretch, Fiddles. Fiddle's suggesting that because people are at the same table with us. I mean, if they watch deck building, sure, that's fair. If they're watching the deck building, that's true. I have authorized watching my deck building as part of this event, so a fair point from Fiddles. About the more fair point being whether they know about it or not, probably not worth it for us in this deck. I might even want one of these devils back. Yeah, no edges in this deck. 23 cards. Are we making? What do you think of these? You want to cut Crash Through for Devils? Well, we do have the Oak back, which really works well with the Crash Through. But it doesn't, and I also like Crash Through, honestly, with the Harbinger. That's given this trample is really nice. All right, let's cut a Crash Through for the Devils. I'm fine. I really wanted to find a room for a Devils here, and that's fine. Nah, I think you're right, Cheese. That's good. It's like that or the Furious Rise. Like, we hear Media a bit and say maybe this is 2 win more, and we would just be better off with one of our, you know, one of the weirds or a Rebirth, right? I think I'm going to run the Rise somewhat for science. I'm going to keep in mind what Media has been talking about the win more nature of Furious Rise, or the heavily win more nature, and I'm going to see how it does. And here we got a 10-7. Definitely don't want 10-7. 9-8. Six triggers for the Rise. We only need 1. I think 6 is about where I'm at. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven? Yeah, I think that's fine. Pteranodon is a possible 8th with a Pride Malkin counter. Or any of our 3 powers are a possible 8th with the Pride Malkin counter. So let's give it a try. Yeah, I think 6 is my line, and we're at 6-7 plus some side chances, you know? So we're going to export this to Magic Arena, jump right back over here. No. Delete some decks. Import. Oh, I was like, I need to craft something. It's got to be Chandra, because since I haven't played with her before. Yep, there you go. Let's see. I'm going to check my bling list. Looks like nobody's redeemed anything today, so I get to choose. I can just let this ride here on these cool lands. And do we like the 9 split? Yeah, with the Harbinger at double green on 2, we really want to land that on time. So we're gonna do this. And oh yeah, dual land. Thank you. I took that out of my deck so that it was easier to see our current count, but obviously we want to do that much better. Although in this case, you know, you could make an argument for, you know, 10-7 or 10-8, right? Should we do that? Maybe we should do that. Go. What do you think on land? This gives us 10 green, 8 red. Helping us more reliably get the Harbinger out and putting more at risk the ability to Hobble Fiend or Immolator, or Immolator and Activate, or Hobble Fiend and Shock, or that kind of thing, right? Well, looks like nobody's got strong opinions here. I think I like this. I'm going to lean this. Oh, actually, I don't know. That's on my Ikoria panel. Here, let's see. I had to switch panels. Here, I got to switch panels for you, but then I'll do it.
Who is it? Lumber. Who is it? Lumber.
Oh, it's the same one. Here, do a different one.
Who is it?
Mrs. Robin.
Candygram. Sometimes decks are named in weird ways. All right, if we didn't play the Furious Rise, hey, Medi, are you around? What would you play over the Rise? What would chat play over this Rise? Did we not get the sideboard? Where are oh, here we go. Fungal Rebirth, Random Weird, Track Down, Crash Through. Well, anyway, you think about that, and we'll think about what we might have played instead. So Track Down. All right, since Media was the Don't Play Rise camp, I'm going to consider that a Track Down. We'll see which one we prefer, if it comes up. All right. 0-0 is correct. Format is M21 v chat. Good luck, Tron. Looking good for us. I like it. Gonna go ahead and play the Mountain to have the shock, even though Tron will basically instantly know we have shock. I'm gonna try and speed through it, but it's hard. He's got priority right now, though, so... All right. Would we pay 1 to make him discard? I'm gonna say yes. I'm just gonna run resources into this thing. I'm gonna shock it, I'm gonna play the Snare Spinner, I'm gonna block. And go ahead and start running Tron low on saving cards, and then hopefully won't be able to save it by the time we start Chandraing. Hard to know exactly. This is a tough card to deal with, right? One thing... Yeah, yeah, it's going to take one card per card, so I'm just going to do it. We're going to do it. I was trying to think if there was a sequence where we threaten it with one thing, he responds with a discard, and then we threaten it with another thing, but it's still just one card for one discard in that case, too. Yeah, tough choices, huh, Tron? Nobody likes to discard from their remaining 5 cards. I'm sure he's just tanking on which one to discard, though. What do we get? Battlements, not bad. And we now have our mana for Chandra at 5. Is this a dub format? Well, this might be a dub matchup. Now, that's a good spot for a dub. Who was on the cast of SNL for that Land Shark sketch? It was in the first couple seasons that they did that, and Chevy Chase is the Land Shark, and I believe it's Chevy Chase's only recurring character on SNL. He was the fake news guy. Are we blocking yet? Not yet. What do we need to get out of this? Do we have anything to get out of this? Don't have my deck list up here. Well, certainly not doing anything on 4 is not going to be our best best moment. Yeah, Dreadmaw somehow living on 6 is just the only way we do this. Pitchburn on 5 would be all right. All right, now we don't even get Dreadmaw. That's true. I guess if you call a real-world person an SNL character, he certainly did Ford. Well, just dead, no matter how we slice it. Oh, here, I can go actually turn on emotes and whatnot for politeness with my viewers. Weaver Gainel, that's not, we're done for. We cannot beat that. Oops, that's the wrong one.
She's dead, Jim.
Next up. John, aka It's Magic. Yeah, I couldn't stop that particular dub. It was a 3-1 that we couldn't deal with, though. Good game. Wally, if we'd lost all 7, I'd have different hair right now. All right. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Turn 4, not bad. I mean, we got to get a green, but of course, I said our first hand was nice, and we got rolled. All right, we got a second forest for our oak, so we are looking at least like we have a curve out to do. Fiddles doesn't know if they sack on 2. Let's see what they come up with. Gandmore asks some questions about the exact details of the hair bet. I'll say this. I believe in the goodwill of chat, and I believe chat believes in my goodwill, such that if we ever get to the point where you 07 me, we'll talk it out and figure it out. But I'm not going to slight you, but you also can't make me have a haircut for 20 years, right? We'll work it out. It'll be fine. You'll get what you want. I'll get to return to some form of normalcy after a period of time. So, sack or not sack? With John not doing anything yet, I'm going to sack. The Vine's not defending anything. Pteranodon is the wrong 2. Boy, you are just a little bit late. Right? Dino out right now with the Malkin about to make an attack would be sweet. As it is, we are going to... I'm going to drop it anyway. And try to augment it. Oh, that was... I let auto tap expose that we have no shock. Solemn Simulacrum. Hey, look, you know what this is? This is a Magic Invitational winner card that's been reprinted with different art. And I've never heard gens complain about that. I don't know. If we play the Oak, we cannot attack. If we play the Pride Malkin, we can. Oh, there's many that have been reprinted with new art. Most of them, really. I'd say most. Yeah. If we do Oak, what's our sequencing? Why are we doing it that way? If we draw a land, we're going to Chandra. If we draw a land after that, we're going to Colossal. Or we can double. Maybe we double at that point. Yeah, Hat. A lot of amateur art directors out there is what I'll say to that, Hat. A lot of amateur art directors out there with strong opinions. Yeah, let's do it. We'll pass, but this whole sequence is just a little bit off. Like, we should be attacking so hard right now, but no, not at all. That's the whole point. I'm curious if you... Serious question. Would you have felt that way if you didn't have someone complaining about it all the time? Like, I don't know. Why is it disrespectful? It doesn't make any sense to me that that would be considered disrespectful. It's just art direction. Pride Malkin on Oak would allow for attacking. Okay. That's just legit question, Media. Oh, he does all the time. That's what got it started. Every time there's a reprint of his card, he gripes about it, and I got finally a little done with the bad beat story. Yeah, you could put the... But do we even want to do this yet? Feline... Yeah, I guess we do. This is the only play that makes sense, right? None of these two make sense. Yeah, we could attack in and see if we attack in, I think John chumps with the Solemn, right? Maybe I'll post it in Discord, Tron, but not enough people care on Twitter what the final record of this is. Maybe I'll post it in the... Somebody can post it in the Discord game day. All right, well, let's do this. We got to do this somewhere. And we can put it on the Oak, and then it's a 3-4 on defense, which is pretty good. I don't know. I'm mixed up on this here. We also have Sovereign that is going to make the kitty bigger. If we put it on self, it's going to become a 4-3. Just worried about this score is just going to grow and grow and grow. Yeah, I mean, this can attack. 5-6 trample. Yeah, it can. We can do it. It's just... I don't know if we want to do it. We're at 20. All right. Yeah, well, it's chump draw. They still take 5. Let's offer. I think they just take sorry, take 3. They take 3 and draw, but that's fine. We thought our deck was okay, right? Hey, Boris, how you doing? I thought our deck was okay. What happened? We're never killing that. We need our Emancipation just to have a chance. Nothing trampling, though. I feel like all I've got is attacking with Oak and playing Hobble Fiend and Spinner. To get your rank up, Quick or Premier. Basically, if they show you your rank on the landing page, then you will, it's ranked. This isn't the most busted one, Haj? I thought ours was. No, ours isn't the most busted. It's got some good cards. We're getting rolled so far, though. Hobbs leave up activation. I just felt like I had to get wide. They don't have trample, right? Nothing here has trample. So that was my feeling, that we could just throw some chumps here as we try to muster a defense. Yeah, that's how you knew the whole deck, right, Haj? Because you put it in their graveyard. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could pile everything on and trade for it. And with 5 points of damage, where would John put it? 3, 4, 5. That's pretty rough. That's like a 3 for 1. We don't have to include this the spinner, but that's still a 3 for 1. So I do not accept. And I don't feel the need to chump right now. All right, well, was saying I didn't know about Chandra on 5 with a shock and how impactful that would be. I don't think Chandra's even our play. I think we need to go Pitchburn Devils to represent 6 damage on something. And then shock the veterans later, if we live. I don't think we're going to win this one, but I think if we do, it's on the strength of Devils doing some kind of work here over... Exactly, like Finishing Blow, not a great card in the format, but I'm still running one in a black deck to handle stuff like this. Haj says, Chandra start getting their answers. We're at 7. I mean, I don't know. We're on the somewhat the same page though, right, Haj? Because you're just trying to get rid of their threats. I am too. I just feel like the Devils does the same job. In terms of putting down something that threatens to remove stuff from their board. Yeah, like the first Devils may have to go... like, we have to do the math of it, so that thing could be a 10-10, right? So this represents 6, and then, like... 7, 8, 9, Snare Spinner 10. Trouble with gang blocking the Scourge is that they could just put all of the damage on... they could not kill the Devils, right? So we could also just chump here. I could also chump with the devils to kill a veteran. And how could that... Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7. They could go 6 mana to put 1 counter on the one, and then another to put another counter on the other. Chump and sack to fiend. Unfortunately, we are tapped out, so I don't know where we're getting that mana, but... just take it. I see where Bonsai Tree is. I think we have to do this and at least force John to, if he wants to save one of the veterans, use his whole turn to do it. And then we can unleash Chandra and kill the other one. But this is making me think Haj was right, because if I had Chandra'd, I could kill the veteran and just chump here and be in a similar spot. Instead, I'm going to lose the devils. Or I could just chump here. Now, I think we got to do this and take out veteran number 1, or make John use the whole turn to not. So... John has opted to grow a fatty instead of save the veteran. Understandable. I think 1 veteran here is going to be pretty darn good. Although that means, by playing another Sage, we do get to snag the other veteran here. Yeah, we passed a bunch of feats as well. I'm a little glad we have that Faith's Fetters. At least the white decks don't have that. Why doesn't Chandra Shock work? Yeah, that's what I was saying. When they tapped out, that's what made it free, right? And at least now we have a Hobble Fiend activation. Ah, gotcha. Fiddles. Makes sense. We're doing some chumping now, friends. Chumping now. Yeah, it's any target. Find the Emancipation and just start 6ing face. How do we win? I don't have a good path to victory. We chump until we find triple damage, and then we shock their face and Chandra their face. Like, I don't think we can do that in time. So the answer is I don't think we have a win here, but I'm hoping that I just haven't seen what our line is, and that some top deck will lay it all bare for me and we'll understand. Funny. Haj can't quite bring himself to give bad advice, but if you lured him away to give advice elsewhere, he would do that. That's funny. Chandra plus Forever definitely wins. Trouble is, I don't think we have Forever. I'm gonna block with the spinner and sack it. I think that's the right... We're not... I mean, they could come up with a swooper or something that would ruin our day, but I feel like spinner is the worst creature on defense right now. And there's the flyer that makes me sad. At least it's not massive. Hey, there's a spider that makes me happy. I'm going to play the spider and the sovereign here, and we'll go shields down on Hobblefiend again, but hopefully I just kill the visionary, I guess. Keep taking out things that help. I don't know. I'm not going to... We could go to face here to get him... If we do triple damage, then getting him under 12 means only twice. But I think all we've got really is 2 damage to the visionary, Weaver, Sovereign. And Dreadmaw next turn still goes up on Chandra, but then we can potentially do the Chandra discard thing. What does this do? Whenever is dealt damage, gain 1 life, create a 1/1 sap. Well, that's all right. Eventually we get 1 chump out of it. Gonna offer up the Pteranodon here. Right? Pteranodon over Pride Malkin, Hobblefiend, etc. Yeah, this is correct. Shock Spider is a great call, says Lizard. I didn't see that line, but it's a good one. Great, great call, Lizard. I love it. So we get to go Dreadmaw. Ping Weaver. Yeah, we did get our 3rd mountain. We can do the other plus on Chandra. We might actually find a way here. I think making saps is way better than working on face right now. I have... Oh, wait. Had it... CBL is up for me. Is it working for anybody else? All right, if it's working for others, then it means that if it's not working for you, you need to do some refreshing or something. This is an exciting one. I thought we were done for, but we're just hanging on enough to see if our Planeswalker can get us there. Sorry, Chandra's at 8 here. I can go to battlefield left if this gives, since we have a Planeswalker that's relevant. Pretty straightforward line here. Yeah, I don't think of her ultimate as the -9. I think of the ultimate as the second plus, or the first +1, if we can pull that off. Wow, Mentor. Great decks from my opponents so far. Look at that. It's Emancipation. Now I'm just going to play this and keep going with the shock. Although, hilariously, we still can't kill these 2 things. Yeah, Feat of Resistance could be what's going on here. Let's do this. This gives us a lot of play, actually. It gives us good defense with our creatures. It gives Chandra dealing 6. Yeah, you want to go 6 to the face. Maybe they don't want us to go to the... Or maybe they just feel like getting wide is the key and offering up the Mentor is fine. Swinging in might be lethal. Let's see. We do have trample. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that we have 15. After assigning, so trample doesn't work well with the triple effect. Right. You have to put it all there, and then so it's only the stuff that tramples over. So they really it doesn't do what we want it to do. Yeah, trample is not the. In some of our heads, we were like, oh, okay, effectively 18 points of Dreadmaw trample, 15 points of Oak trample. It seemed like we had enough, but it's not. That's not how it works. So let's go. We can swing stuff though, right? Like it's still. $7 damage, but can we? So let's see. I don't want to do the math. Somebody do the math for me. I'm gonna go take a nap and somebody do the math. All right. So they put. Let's do the math, or at least do the. See if we can win this turn. So if we attack with the Dreadmaw, it gets blocked. But we assume the Dreadmaw. Well, let's assume Dreadmaw on Scourge on Dreadmaw. 4/4 on 5, so we get 3 through that way. That's fully blocked here. This could get another 3 through. Yeah, it's not enough gets through on trample. They have good enough blocks. The minimum they can let through is 9. How do you get that, Flip? Have you done? Are you like? I don't see it. Help us understand where you're getting the minimum 9. I don't. Yeah, there's a Burlfist Oak under here. Maybe y'all aren't seeing that. Is that? I still don't. I did the math though, and I still didn't see it. Here, let me go up here actually for a little bit, so you can see this whole board down here. Yeah, I think we swing the Dreadmaw because it takes something out. Nothing can block. They have to put a bunch on this, right? So we're definitely doing this. Do you want to do the Oak too, though? We could do the Oak as well. Oak, they don't have any good blocks on the Oak either. No 9... Buckeye, you say, do you mean no, comma, 9 gets through, or no 9? You agree 9 gets through even with the 9? Well, if 9 gets through, I know we're going long here, but this isn't a competitive event. This is a fascinating spot. This is a fascinating spot. Have to let chat work this out with me because we have the luxury of doing so. Hydra blocks, yeah, 5 blocks. All right, tell you what. We need to do something. I'm gonna trust my chatters who say we've got 9 minimum. And if we have 9 minimum, we win because we plus this for the shock to get 6 more, and 9 plus 6 is greater than 13. Plus 1 trample, 3 more is 6 total, minus 2 from Mentor is 4. Then 6 damage puts him at 3. Chat lethal. All right. I find it fascinating. Well, maybe it's not fascinating. It's just hard math. All right, I'm going to say no attacks. Jamie... I'm going to say no attacks. There is 0 trample damage. Maybe. I'm going to go with this line. Sorry, that was long even for me, and if it was boring to you, so be it. Yeah, sorry. And after all that, I didn't swing with the Dreadmaw like I should have. But I think we're in good shape for next turn. Chat's smarter than me is the bottom line. I think part of it, you know, it's difficult for me because you get a lot of people, you know, even if chat is like 75% right, there's a bunch of noise in there that's hard to trust. And I think this is actually one of the spots where maybe I'm, you know, we looked at, here, I'll end turn so they can go. We've looked at my numbers of how I do on air versus off air. And I actually do a little bit better off air, and I think these types of scenarios are why. Like, I kind of lost my own thread of figuring this out myself, you know? And I kind of ended up relying on chat to think about. Like, I stopped thinking it through fully myself and started relying on chat. And as soon as I started doing that, I was kind of done with it and waiting for almost a consensus from chat to decide what to do. And... that can really throw you off. So I think I actually handle that turn a lot better with you all not here. Yeah, so I'm thinking about how we do that. You want Fiend, block, and kill. Fiend, like you want to sack something? You can go past the blockers. Certainly have to do that. Yeah, why don't we just chump? We'd even chump with the Weaver and get a chump with our, quote, worst creature, and then it replaces itself with something with the same power. I like doing this. I get blown out by the read of Feat of Resistance. In what spot there? Like blocking, trying to kill with... yeah, it doesn't have trample. Should we sack the sap? We don't need to. We can do it in response on our turn if we need to. Now it feels like shock to the face, send everything has got to be good, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. Minimum they take 3. They gain 2. Plus this is lethal. I will not take 5 minutes this time. If 2 tramples over, it will do 6, yes. Yeah, it's tough to know who understands what when all of chat is coming up with some slightly different stuff, you know?
do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Oop, nope. Almost, Foil King, almost. We're going to cancel that one and do this. Thank you so much for the subs. Oh, sorry, we're record at 1-1 now, yep. All right, what a great looking opener. Where have you been? Yeah, good game, Magic John. Sorry for making you wait so long on that one turn, but that was there was a lot. You can go look at the replays, I'm sure you will, but suffice it to say, chat was quite divided on whether we had lethal on the turn before we killed you. Yeah, people did come up with lethal, but then that didn't even take into account the fact that you had a card, right? Highland's doing a little damage here because we don't get to play the Harbinger, which would be the nice play here, but I'm not going to complain about attempting a Gadrak. Gadrak may be snapped off here, but I am not going to not cast it. Hopefully it frees us up to do, like, Avenger next turn. Make him have the counter. I am still here in Washington. Do you like Indian food? Table monster? Ouch. Well, at least they had to use removal on it. Then I just wanted to suggest to you to check out, there's a Renton restaurant called Naan and Curry, which is kind of like one of the better Indian spots in the whole region, not just Renton. So I'm gonna try the Avenger here. All right, that works. Yeah, a lot of people set inside a lot of things, Razor. Yeah, if you want to get up to Seattle, I'll tell you the best sandwich in the region is at Un Bien. Un Bien. A space in it, though. But the number one from Un Bien is my favorite sandwich in the world. All right, we're going to drop a Highlands, replay the Avenger, and offer the trade. Un Bien is the spin-off restaurant of the local sandwich shop Paseo. You may hear people say that Paseo is the best sandwich in Seattle. Paseo used to be the best sandwich in Seattle. Then there was a whole big thing that happened with Paseo and some, I won't get into it, but basically ownership changed and Paseo, it was Paseo in name only. And the sandwich, the Paseo sandwich went to Un Bien. So the original Paseo sandwich is now sold at Un Bien. And yeah, we can Ogre and Harbinger, because of the Avenger mana. we can even get 2, right? So if we go, trying to shock as well, right? So if we go forest, can we do it all? Adds only green. So, yeah, if we go like this, play the ogre. And then this to play Harbinger. And then we shock the ghost. And Haj asking me, why didn't I shock? Is this like, I wanted to get the Highlands down so we could do Harbinger, but maybe I had mana and I wasn't aware of it last turn, but... And yeah, I'll offer this. What do you want? You want to give me the Skelly for that? Let's do it. Midnight Cuban is the other good one. Number 1, number 2 are great sandwiches on that list. I hear you, who is saying it, like not liking the best mentality around that kind of thing. Sure, I could say my favorite sandwich in Seattle is. How about that? Whenever I say best, I just mean my favorite. I'm going to kill it now before shields are up again. Truffle. Six, 7. You want to just sit here firing away with the Avenger from here? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 mana, which is not enough to snout and avenge. And do we want to send this? This is just going to get a straight trade, right? They're just going to trade for the Harbinger. Still think we send Pteranodon. I'm going to do that. Pteranodon, leave everything else back, and camp behind this Avenger. You like sending the Ogre too? Yeah, I guess we would trade the Ogre for the Skeleton Archer if they wanted to do that. Haj liked the Ogre too. I was a little more cautious, but he's probably right. But this was kind of the plan here. I mean, we just win, right? The dream with this deck is to one-shot somebody from, you know, with the triple damage. Both should be good. The one I go to is on 15th. Where's the second? Where's the non-15th location? I don't even know. The one on 15th is the Unbien and is the only Unbien. If you go to any other Unbien, you're dumb. How's that, DJ? That's, you like that? Next up, Bonsai Tree it is. Let's do it. Good game, Foil King. We had a monster hand that time. Although I feel like I've had a monster hand all 3 games. Lost one, barely won another, and that time the monster hand actually kind of was as monstrous as we thought. All right, another nice looking start, especially if you can find a second green. But at least we have a Pteranodon on 2. That's really what makes this nice. I said nice looking start. It's got both colors of land, 3 of them, and a turn 2 play. That's what makes it nice. But that certainly makes it good enough. Oh yeah, Seaview. Okay, that's just down the... They're very close then. That's... the Seaview location was originally a Paseo spot. So I guess the Seaview Avenue restaurant used to be a Paseo. And I guess when Un Bien Paseo kind of split or whatever, they... the Un Bien took over that Paseo location. Bonsai has our mirror match. We noted we passed a lot of Curs. We passed a lot of... we passed another Avenger. We passed a lot of Pyrelings. So I expect that Bonsai here has Curs, Pyrelings, and Avenger. El Gaucho does make a fine steak. Hey, we got one of those. Total mirror. Well, cross your fingers that this Pteranodon lives. If it doesn't, this Harbinger could take over. Especially because we don't currently have a turn 4 block on the Harbinger. So 3 damage to the Pteranodon almost might be GG. Like, it's really rough if Bonsai can take out our Pteranodon here. Unless we draw something to help. But, like, you know, turn 4 is empty. So, right now. So, unless we draw something, if they kill the Harbinger, if they kill our defense against the Harbinger, it's getting in at least twice. I didn't know what else to say. Nice was the best response I could come up with. Certainly, I'm not going to fault Bonsai for tanking a little bit. We're not going to be that hypocritical. We got plenty of things to talk about anyway. Hey, it is totally a mirror. They've got a Planeswalker. We got a Planeswalker. Wow, I thought our hand looked so fantastic, and instead I'm like, wow. Jeez. Well, we got nothing really here but the oak, so we'll drop it. Glad I got my hair safe this week. Chat coming up with some monster decks. Every time I think I have a nice looking hand, except against our poor friend Foil King, it has not gone quite as brilliantly as the opener made it seem like it might. Well, they only get one. I mean, this is disgusting, right? Now we gotta go... Yeah, I like Garrick better than Chandra. Can I say that? Devils keeps us not dead, I suppose.
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
I mean, a trick here and it's all over. But we must continue to try. Well, I double blocked because I didn't want to, because it had trample. So the trample would have given Bonsai 4 looks instead of 1. And I also did want to throw some damage at Garrick.
All right, let's fight.
So now we get Vine, Chandra to finish off Garrick, we hope, and then Vine to protect Chandra. All right, I'm gonna work with this. We're still live. Shock. Well, we could shock Garrick, but we get a shock from Chandra. So it's either Portcullis or shock, and we got to decide that before we play. I'm surprised they didn't go for the 4, but I don't know. I don't know the rest of their hand. We want Dreadmon shock. We don't have the mana for that. First of all, so I like the Vine plan. We want, because here's the thing, we can go Chandra like shock the scanner, but then Chandra loses to the beast. So we got to just stick to the plan. We're gonna go Portcullis, Vine, Chandra. Yes.
Sharpen my axe.
Hanging in, hanging in. Yep. Next turn we can use Chandra plus Shock to take out the potential Avenger here. But Avenger does come after Chandra potentially, if the mana is there. So the crash through over the Avenger is interesting. It does suggest that there's something going on here. Maybe they really want 2 red. Calls to just have Chandra take 5 here. Not a bad idea. We're almost never -9ing Chandra. Her loyalty doesn't matter provided they can't just reach over and burn her out. So I think that's an interesting call. Yeah, Titanic growth is a thing. The trample is a thing. Let's see. If they've got the Titanic growth, though, the block doesn't do anything. Because like if we go here, and right now they're trampling for 1. They add 4 more to it for 5, and they add this for 6, and Chandra's dead anyway. So I feel like we should just take it. And if they've got the +4/+4, yeah, sorry. Here, let me go to. Let's go here for right now. If they go +4/+4, we lose this anyway. So I'm not going to block.
in the crossfire.
Yeah, Guile could have done it. We could have been playing around Guile to block, but maybe maybe that was worth it. I don't know. Okay, land is actually great because it allows us to Dreadmaw and Shock. We don't get to do the Portcullis Vine thing, but hopefully we don't need to. Hopefully we just drop a Dreadmaw, pick off the Sky Scanner, and hold Shock. Yeah, maybe I could start hanging out up here in this upper corner. I don't know. Yeah, the other thing we can do is take out the 2/2 one, and I guess they could get the mana for it here. But I kind of like holding the Shock to kill the Avenger. So I'm going to do that. We're going to make sure that the Avenger can't finish off Chandra. Yeah, Comrade card says this needs a plan. That's why I don't want to use the Shock on something like a Visionary. They at 3 toughness, Bonsai may think that the Avenger is safe, and then we can disabuse them of that notion. Chandra at 2, though, is vulnerable to Shock herself, so that could happen, although I think it would happen by now if it was going to happen. All right, let's take a look. Right now, it's just matching up. These two are kind of the same. Yeah, so effectively a Dreadmaw. Here, I'm going to take out the Visionary. Although, you know, there's an argument for Shock, Mauler, and do the other +1, but I'd rather just dump the hand here and do that next turn. Also means Mauler will become a 4/4 at the end of this turn, which is nice for us also. And we have both Shock and Vine activation. We don't know that, Haj. You say Visionary's not doing anything. I mean, we have a plan for the Avenger, but like it's Avenger mana. It allowed them to cast the Incinerator last turn. If it weren't for the Visionary, this Incinerator wouldn't be out. So I'm gonna push back on the anything notion. I do feel like at 20 to 12, I'm all about board control. I mean, my other option was to go to face. I don't see going to face over board control when they're at 20. All right, there's our... Well, did we know they had 2? Why didn't it hide this one from us? All right, I am drawing a card. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. And a Hobble Fiend to boot. So I'm just gonna go, we're gonna dump our hand again and shock again. We're gonna shock, kill the Avenger though. Can almost start attacking, but not quite. Second Avenger on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So the Avenger will be able to take out Chandra, or we're going to get Chandra to 5, though. So hopefully Chandra even still lives after one Avenger activation. Same kind of Planeswalker stuff. I don't know. I've been coming down and down and down on Planeswalkers as a gameplay feature just because I don't like the gameplay. I don't like the... there was one time where I couldn't play Chandra because she would just die. Oh, but now I play Chandra and she just takes over and the game is dumb. Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's great gameplay. These strikeout home run nature of these things. Well, now we have a nice time for the top plus. Nothing to kill, right? No. Yeah, we can't kill anything with a shock anyway, so... shouldn't discard the hand, though, without playing that. All right. Immolator comes close, but we can't quite prowess it. But, again, Chandra not actually at risk of dying yet. Slayton saying you like it. Yeah, just being able to torture somebody with a Planeswalker for 7 turns before you beat them is right in your wheelhouse. Yeah. Don't have the artifacts to be attacking here yet, but we're slowly building them up. I think we just continue to stay back at 12, and having Chandra survive for 1 more turn maybe lets us get the Avenger next turn. I don't know. But I think this Avenger is going to get our Chandra eventually. Just may take a couple turns here. Any attacks. I just want this against this, and so I don't want to attack. Like, we could attack with Dreadmaw. Okay, let's look at the Dreadmaw attack. The Dreadmaw attack probably just gets through. Let's just say they take it, and then what happens? Then we're looking to... I guess we could... But yeah, we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 mana. We're almost... we're closing in on double Avenger. Although, you can't tap it twice, so never mind. It's not even close to double Avenger. Yeah, Immolator plus Chandra kills Avenger. So that will be our plan next turn. Good call. So given that, I'm just going to stay patient. I'm going to stay patient. No, the second ability is not tap, but I was counting mana from the Avenger tap. I counted tapping the Avenger for 3 mana twice, or 4 mana twice. What? What? They have to go big, though, and I get to send the immolator at face. So I think this just wipes the board. Yeah. Hey, Haj, I think the visionary mattered. Is this constructed? What is going on here? Yeah, if Immolator goes -6, we send... Or, sorry, if Ugin goes -6, we send Immolator at Ugin. And everything else dies. There's nothing even to do about it, right? Just everything's gone. Now we're in a bad spot, because Bonsai has 5 cards to our none. So we're probably just dead on that. I mean, we needed to draw action and got none, so... Gonna be quickly over from here. Although interesting, because Bonsai could just move all in on Kerr, but probably can just dump their hand as well. Land, not going to do it after that. That was a great game. Kind of. I don't know, Planeswalkers. Was that fun? Do we like that? Is that good? Is that what makes us want to play Magic? Here's my Planeswalker. Ooh, but I beat it with your Planeswalker. Oh, but I'm going to beat yours with my Planeswalker. And some people like it, Media. I think we're on the same page. Even Steven matchup on the week. Chat versus me. Oh, here you get a little dead man, too.
Bring out Chitty!
It doesn't, though. Not, I mean, not if I tighten up what I'm saying, Flip. I think you... My point is that that the common tools of the game allow all sorts of interaction with big creature versus big, creatures. You come up with a big creature, okay, well, you got to attack through all of my creatures. But Planeswalkers operate on this different plane, no pun intended, of existence that in the game that make it less interactive. And that's what we're talking about. It's the lack of interactivity in the back and forth, and frankly, the unplayability at times too. Your back and forth creature scenario is still at least like, let's say you've got the bigger creature right now. Like your creature is dominating the board. I can tap out to play a creature that would lose combat, but I can do it. I can use all my mana that turn and play the creature and be like, all right, well, it's not enough right now, but I'll start there and then hopefully add to it, and then hopefully we stabilize, right? Against Planeswalkers, it's just like, or with Planeswalkers in that spot, in that flip situation, you're just like, well, I can't even play this to get going. If I play this supposed bomb, I lose it. So I can't even play my supposed bomb. That's what I'm talking about, Flip. It's about the back and forth, one up situation in play, but also the extremes of play that you experience with them. I'm as equally frustrated by not even being able to run my Planeswalker out there as I am by kind of boring or uber powerful back and forth, only the Planeswalkers matter gameplay. And next up, looking to break the tie is, hold on, Elmer. And also, I would argue, you know, you can come up with non-Planeswalker cards that do this, but you also are not necessarily coming up with cards that are fun. You may just be naming other cards that aren't particularly great in the gameplay they provide for the game. I'm gonna keep this, obviously. Got a nice curve again. Foil King's the one to ask. What did you take, Foil, over the Gadrak you passed us? Well, we got one of your Leafkin Avengers. You had to keep the other one around. That was annoying. All right, I'm going to send the Immolator. Well, I made a bluff attack. They may have a actual trick block. Let's see. Nope, they just had a free block and called our bluff. That's fine. Sovereign, I'm going to play because it can actually attack, or Snout we could play. Maybe just go Truffle Snout with the counter. This isn't a kitty. Let's just get the biggest we can that can actually attack. That's funny. Yeah, Grasp killed the Gadrak, so obviously put him in the arena. You got there. Okay, I like Portcullis Vine, Feline Sovereign here, and then we Gadrak next turn, and if we find a land off the top, or even if we don't, we can crack the Portcullis Vine, try to find a land, have an extra 3, play Gadrak, and get the treasure for the Gadrak, so that seems nice. In terms of attacking here, I don't actually have the trick to make the Immolator do its thing, and I would trade Truffle Snout for the Protege, though, so I am going to send Snouty. That's true. If a bunch of stuff ended up trading off, we could go for, like, we could send both of this in, fire it off, kill everything, and then Gadrak for a lot. That would have been reasonable. But this is fine too. And maybe we can still pull that off next turn. Singer. So, send in everything. If they throw, I guess they could double the Sovereign with Protege and Shieldmate, and that wouldn't be great. So I think I'll send in the Snout, see what happens. We could do the thing, though, send them both and be ready to sack and Gadrak here. Let's send in Truffle Snout alone. And then, depending, like, if they go for a Truffle Snout block here, I could see doing the Immolator on Singer Gadrak play at that point. Yeah, I'm going to do Immolate, Singer, Gadrak, because then we get the four treasures immediately. Oh, they had Opt. Didn't think about Opt. Well, we'll get 3 treasures immediately. It's not quite as good, but not bad. Next turn, we get Portcullis Vine treasure at the very least, too. We could get Dreadmaw out this turn at the cost of holding up our Gadrak plans. We could also just go Portcullis Vine, Hobble Fiend, have Gadrak in the air, and then drop Dreadmaw hopefully next turn. I think I'm just going to do that. I'm going to start here. They also have mana up that could be counter-based, and I like playing around that on some level. So I'm just dropping the Hobble Fiend, keep our treasure active, see if they want to counter a little Fiendy. All right, getting aggro, but not killing our stuff, so I can handle it.
All right, everyone, chill.
Shocking! Can we get the stupid singer this time? I don't know. Didn't find another land. I think... do we keep our treasure so we can Gadrak it up on our attacks? I guess we can make another treasure if we just shock anyway. But I kind of like shock Burl Fist, although, again, we don't necessarily have shock that works here. I'm going to give Kelmer credit for more instants. So I'm going to go Oak. See if they've got counters. No counter, so then just going to be patient, pass the turn. All right, with Forest, we get a no treasure Dreadmaw if we need it. And I'm just going to send our big stuff and see what they've got for that. I guess we send... Okay, well, that's going to happen. The question is, do we bother... I mean, because we could sack it to Hobble Fiend. Which we probably do. Yeah, I guess I send Hobble Fiend, and then if they block, we attack. Or if they block, we sack. You like shock now. Oh, shock and response. I still didn't want to do it. They have more cards. I'm just going to erase the Singer. I'm not going to try and kill it with that risk. I got blown out once. Yeah, and the cat destroys the sphere. Good call. Good call. They kind of have to block there. And we can shock the shield mate to finish that off. Ooh, maybe they don't see it. I don't think they see it. So now I'm going to give up the Hobble Fiend and we can even shock the shield mate. I'm going to give up the Hobble Fiend here to let this cat get through. And I'll just shock this and we get another treasure after anyway. Didn't seem like there was a pause there. I couldn't tell. I wasn't quite paying attention, but maybe there was. I couldn't tell if there's a pause, if we need to worry about instants. Well, we got plenty of mana now. And if we attack with Gadrak, 5 power says probably trades off for Singer and Swooper, but we're totally cool with that, right? Sovereign bounces off Pegasus, but trades with the other two, so Sovereign can get in. Let's attack all. Don't be a whiny doggy. Be a good boy. Be a good dog. All right, I've pulled slightly ahead, but it's been a very close week. Very back and forth. I think we've gone win-loss, win-loss, win-loss so far, right? Has anybody won 2 in a row? Me or chat? I did. Couldn't remember. Yeah, I guess I went loss, win, win, right? Then we went back and forth. Right. All right, next up, though. Norbert. Yeah, I'm with you, Bonsai. Forgetting that the cat takes out, that the cat does naturalize is totally in my range to forget too. All right, another promising looking opener. I'll take whatever I can get, Keller. I'll take my advantages where I can get them. Good game. Kind of had the goods in that one, though. Speaking of the goods, very nice. I assume the double is incoming. Yep. Very nice, Norbert. Very nice. Just when you think your opener looks good. If we can get up to 3 toughness, though, then we start to threaten some defense. All right, this is actually decent. We don't have a 2 to play anyway, so let's just drop the Highlands. Oops, what happened? Oh, I see. Yeah, well, that's just a drawback of the card, I guess. You see that Norbert had so much value from the Houndmaster they had to discard. I didn't notice either, Norbert, so if you come back and watch this later, I think I would have done the same thing. And maybe it was still correct. If you had an alternative 2, I guess you could make an argument for playing a different 2 and then dropping that, but I don't know what else you had in hand. Let's drop a Turret Ogre. So, well, I was going to drop Turret Ogre so it could block the Wingmare, but I'd rather get mana going, so I'm just going to go Leafkin to ramp. And I'm going to leave Hobblefiend back because I would absolutely throw it in front of the Houndmaster if they swing. All the doggies coming out to play. Well, we could go Devils, but yeah, let's play our big boy. A little turn early, seems all right. Next turn, 1, 2, and if we play like Ogre, we get 3 mana, which then plus this is, if we draw a 4-drop, we can have a sweet turn. Hey, Furious Rise. We were talking about this being a track down. We haven't really seen this all day. This was a final cut / keep in our deck building, and we were talking about doing a track down, what is it, track down instead? But I like the Furious Rise here a lot, so I think in this case, it's proving its value in this spot. And we even have 1 mana left over for the sack if we need it. And are we sending Dreadmaw? Dreadmaw goes in and trades for a bunch of stuff, but right now it's 16 and facing a pretty big army over there, and with Turret Ogre needing to do its thing, and with Avenger about to start facing, etc., we stay patient. I'm going to say no attacks. I will try not to forget to play this land. Watch me draw a mountain and put it out there. Yeah, you can feel badly like, oh no, I got a land, but it's like, yes, I'm not drawing that land. Good one, good one. Keeps the race going for them in the air. I might have to do Devil's Sack to Hobble Fiend to take out take out the Wingmare so that the clock in the air is a lot slower here. And also sack the Ogre to the Hobble Fiend, but the Ogre sitting around as a 4 power does add mana to the Avenger for what that's worth. There's the mount. Oh, no, I remembered. Four wins is just pride, Nantuko. You need to get 5 wins before you get any gifts from me. Still no attacks here. Need to defend on the ground and reduce this air attack a little bit. Fourth win is pride. 5th and 6th win are bling prizes, and the 7th win we're just never going to speak of. Let's just... Nantuko says that incentive is a nice idea. That was from my friend Martin. Martin was like, you do something for 7, what about something for lower to give something more realistic to get? And I thought, yeah, you're right. Nice job, Norbert. Good choice. It's gonna get buffed from everything else. In fact, let's see. What should we kill? Well, let's let him do the attack. But I was gonna take. I think we have to take out the swooper.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Feeling good as hell. So, We can sack the devils and kill the Houndmaster, but long term the swooper is going to be more damage, so I'm going to take all of this and we'll kill the swooper. Yeah, we can just wait. Let's just attack devils. I think you're right. We don't even need to do it now. We just do it next turn after we can attack with it once. But looking a little sketchy here. This is huge. The Faith's Fetters on our Ogre. Man, landlording. Furious Rise is helping us get through our land screw a little faster. I'm not sure, Nantuko, but I guess like Nantuko is like saying maybe we had to kill the Houndmaster. I just don't see it though, because like that was 4 right there, but then we're just absolutely giving up 3 right here and then 3 again after that. So, I mean, if we're just straight dead, then that's one thing, but I felt like going for the 4 short term as opposed to 3 a turn long term wasn't the right choice. And was going to attack with the devils, but let's look at the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the ground. If we attack with the devils, we only have 3 on the ground. I actually don't think we can attack with the devils. We need to represent that as a potential ground blocker. So as nice as the idea is attacking there is, I don't think we have the luxury. That's not a bad draw if we can make it. Yeah, drawing this plus another creature off the top is important. We have another snare spinner. I think we have multiple snare spinners. We need like back-to-back spinners, I think. Or some removal. Something to contain the flyers. He says, staring at a new flyer. Yeah, we can do some Avenger activations. It's not going to be enough to race him down, but we get to do something, right? What was the lethal? Looks like some people think it's lethal right now. More creatures is tough. Like, we can't afford anything to get through. I think that's probably us for us. Although we maybe get something at instant speed on the Furious Rise, you know, that kind of thing. I don't know. I think Norbert's going to get us here, though. But let's not give up completely. Yeah, shock off the Rise. Is it? I don't know. The deck list thing isn't working with Untapped GG on the friend battle, so I don't even know what's in our deck. Oh, Kitty. Well, it's a creature. One, 2, 3, 4 on the ground. Yeah, we need something hot. Literally off the Rise, or I think we are donezo. Oh, it's kind of a shock. Kind of. Is it? All right, we'll go out on our terms. Can I, though? I don't even know we have the mana, do we? We don't even have the mana. All right, good game. Tied up. Another great battle. Good job, chat. Your decks are all awesome. Really. What a strong pod of decks. Like, this is a lot of strong decks from this pod. No bling possible. You're now just playing for pride, mama. But you can still get me for the weekly win. I'm still on a streak, right? I think I've won the last handful in a row. I don't think next time either, mama. Or the time after that. Or the time after that. Really, the bling prize is just another pipe dream that I'm dangling in front of you. Vine and 2 6-drops. What do you think of this one? Mama threatening back. I call, mama, I call. Now fold and let me scoop this pot. Yeah, I think we keep because the Vine can at least do something on 2. This is a kind of a mulligan already, but this is but it's not eventually. Like, I know this is kind of a temporary mulligan, but we are going to get to the Dreadmaw, I think, and we got some time. I'm keeping. We're also on the draw, so we're going to draw extra things to do. Thank you, Nutter. All right, just looking for something to do on 3 here. This is a lovely 4. I don't love the Sanctum on 2, but I think we can beat that if we can just get going here. Obviously, 3 is ideal. If not, at least the 4 surviving would be ideal. Nantugu, that's great to hear. I hope all is well in your world on that front, or as well as you could reasonably hope, given all circumstances. Nah, no 3, so we got let down on the 3 plan. But if our stuff lives, I think we're in a good spot. We're nowhere close to this emancipation yet, though. Deck is laughing at us with the forests. Oh, Malkin. Kitty Cat is late. I'm gonna go Avenger, though. Too bad this makes green. I want to make red for that, but, you know, beggars, choosers, etc. Is the Doctor... Thanks, deck. Thank you. Is the Doctor mono black or missing colors? Not sure. Hi, kitty. I'm gonna go Dreadmaw. Yeah, probably missing colors. Dreadmaw looks like it'll just get swallowed by the Imp, but at least it'll do trample damage, and if we find removal something for the Imp, we can take care of that too. Now then, tapping for 2, 3, 7, 8. We have 8 mana, but only 1 of it red. Still, we can go Devil's Weaver. And you go Devil's Weaver, offer up Dreadmaw. or hold back and try to get the Emancipation going before we offer up Dreadmaw. But with the mana struggles that the Doctor is experiencing, I think we just go for the full dump. Yeah, we can go Devils, counter on Devils. That's good too. I like that. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Weaver is the less aggressive thing here anyway. Doing this all pre-combat because we need the Dreadmaw around to get the extra mana from the Avenger. Otherwise, I would not telegraph my attack. All right, if they find their missing color, this could become a game. If they don't find something pretty nice to do here, though, we could start to run away with it, especially if you untap the Guile. Untapping with a Guile against the stuck black deck is going to be very powerful. And in fact, we get... Don't need to cast... I guess I'll cast... this doesn't matter pre... Nothing here matters pre, so I'm going to send in 5, 6 allows for 3, 4, 5, and 6, so we can attack with the Avenger as well. So the card I was saying was a quasi-mulligan is still being that. Looks like we're going to effectively have Emancipation be a mulligan this game, but hopefully it won't matter here. My last haircut, I'd have to look it up here. Let's find out. I can just check my email for my appointment confirmation. Rudy's. No, I don't have a haircut spreadsheet. I have email. Although it doesn't seem to see my appointment. Ah, well. Didn't show up in a quick search. I'm not going to belabor the point. Where is Final Oppo? Just wanted to say good game. But, oh, maybe that's Dip. Triple Red was a concession we kind of agreed to during deck build, right? Yeah, we understood that it was a part of the cost of that, running that card. We got a little unlucky. Yes, generally, although I went to the Rudy's in Belltown and got my favorite Rudy's cut there, but in general, I've never been unhappy with the cut at Rudy's, so I just kind of go there and take whomever. Oh, that was you. Okay, King Coffee, good game, good game. Yeah, we were just trying to crush you before you found your second color, and we did. Nantuko says, Ryan, I have been speedrunning Mario Kart 64 and bought a thing for it. It came with 2 floppy disks and uses a serial port. Nice. You have not... I shouldn't say lived. That's the wrong way to put it. I know how old you roughly are if you've ever loaded software via cassette tape. Raise your hand if you've loaded software via cassette tape. Anybody? You think I'm lying? Anybody think I'm just making this stuff up? I think me and the olds have probably done that. Olympic decathlon. Oh yeah, buddy. That reminds me of a story. So can I tell you how I got ripped off in Hong Kong? So, then we'll say goodbye to YouTube. I lived in India when I was 11 years old to 13. So 6th and 7th grade I spent in New Delhi, India. My parents were teachers. They took teaching jobs overseas, and we lived on campus at the American Embassy School in New Delhi. One of them, not one of, the most formative experience of my young life, to live in India for 2 years like that. It radically changed my perspective on a lot of things. That was in the mid-'80s, and when I was coming back home in 1985, our family, we were moving back, and I was in India with my mom and stepdad. And I flew back home when I was going to be living at my dad's for a bit. Hadn't lived with him for a couple of years, so going to spend some time with him. And he had just gotten a new PC. He got a computer. I was so excited by this. Now, I had a Commodore 64 that I loved, and it was my first computer, thus the cassette drive software loading. But my dad had like an IBM. It was going to be it was a real piece, a IBM computer. And our journey back to the States took us through. We traveled the world while we were there, and on the way back, we went through Hong Kong. So stayed in Hong Kong for a day or two or whatever. And I wanted more than anything to play decathlon on my dad's computer. And so went to the tech area of Hong Kong, and I went into a shop that clearly sold that kind of stuff, software, whatever. And I tried to explain to the shopkeeper what I wanted, that I wanted decathlon. And he didn't know what I was talking about exactly, but I was explaining. I'm a 13-year-old kid. I'm so excited, and I told the shopkeeper that I was traveling back home to see my dad in Seattle, and that I wanted to get decathlon. I think I named some other game. I named 2 games, decathlon and something else that I was really looking forward to playing. And the shopkeeper said, you write down the games you're looking for, and I'll get them ready for you. Anybody see where this is going? I told a Hong Kong shopkeeper that at age 13 that I was leaving the country in a day. And he was like, well, let me help you. Let me help you. You go do some other shopping and come on back here, and I'll have your software ready for you. So I wrote down and misspelled decathlon, by the way, misspelled it. Wrote down the other game, gave the shopkeeper my the piece of paper, went around, did other things. I came back later. He sells me 2 floppy disks with the stickers on them and a typewritten, typed out words, decathlon, misspelled, and whatever the other game was that I ordered. I didn't think anything of it. I mean, hell, I misspelled it. I thought he spelled it correctly. So I'm 13. You know how much money is worth to you at 13? It's like money is worth about 100 times more to a 13-year-old than to like anybody older, right? And I gave everything I had left to get these games, and I was so happy. I thought these were real. I took those discs home, and understand also at 13, I was thinking about nothing else from the time that I bought that misspelled decathlon floppy to the time I put it into the PC at my dad's house and got ready to fire up decathlon, and it didn't work, and there was nothing on it. And I thought, I'm so naive. I'm like, oh, something must have gone wrong. It got messed up in the travels, or like I didn't even put it on. I didn't even figure it out then. It was only when I told my dad my sob story and said, this software doesn't work. And he's like, let me see. And he's like, this isn't how you spell decathlon. Is this even And then it slowly dawned on me that a Hong Kong shopkeeper gladly parted this fool with his money. But money well spent. That was quite the life lesson. I didn't make that mistake again. I got nice and jaded and and stopped trusting anybody. So actually, that's not true. I can probably list off another 20 places I got ripped off or tricked or something similar somewhere between then and now, and there will probably be a handful more before it's over anyway. But I did get a good story out of it. But man, poor 13-year-old Ryan was utterly heartbroken. Then shortly, the first game I did play on that PC, and I've told this before too, though, was the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy text adventure. I don't know if any of you have played the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy text adventure. It is acknowledged as one of the hardest text adventures ever published. And I played it and beat it, having never read the books and having no help from any, phone calls or internet or anything. It's a great game, but it's super hard. And I still think I peaked at 13 because of that. I don't think any of my gaming accomplishments that I've had since have eclipsed beating Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy text adventure with no help and no context for what the books were about or anything. And the good news there is I thought the text adventure was so damn funny, I went out and bought the books, and Douglas Adams became one of my favorite authors. I love those series. So, little story time, and now we'll say finally, goodbye, YouTube. Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you next time.